The stories of pain. So last night, I was reading. I was receiving some what we call elbow or therapy for a back issue. It's I've got a muscle that will inflame or whatever happens to it, and then once that happens, then I can have a whole episode, and my back will tighten up and this kind of thing. So the best way to do it is I get somebody to run, either a deep tissue massage, or I have somebody use an elbow to push into that knot, and that usually breaks it up, and then I can get through it. It's kind of a painful process of having that elbow go in there. And so as the process were going, I had recognized as this person went over the knot, I felt the pain. And the pain, like all of a sudden I told myself a story that if like I had gotten to my threshold, that's what the story said. I had gotten to my threshold and I couldn't go any, like I would have said, hey, you got to back off a little bit. And what I realized was in that moment, I was telling a story about the pain, and not necessarily that it was right or wrong, but I realized that I needed this therapy and then this idea to just feel and experience the pain without having a story wrapped in it. So literally just getting my mind into the experience of the pain without my mind coming to, I want this to stop. I need this to stop, and this is too painful, or whatever all those stories were, because I knew I was safe, and I was safe with the professional who was doing the work. And so I started just practicing that, and all of a sudden I wasn't experiencing pain anymore, like zero. And I couldn't tell if, but they were hitting exactly the same spots, going over the bumps that would just have me in tears, maybe because of pain, and nothing. So that brought up a discussion around the story of pain, and I've done a little bit of this before, but this really started looking into this a lot deeper in the sensations around telling stories. So I was in a yoga pose. I was seeing if I could do, I haven't done them forever, a headstand. And as I was in the headstand, I could feel all my body adjusting. I could feel the tightness in my neck in certain areas, because I'm getting used to it. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute. We tell stories about pain, and we tell them all along our life. I've told tons of stories like, oh, that happened to me, I'll never do that again, or this happened to me and I'll never do that again. We tell stories about it. And I thought, that's another place to look. That's another place that we don't need stories. Like, pain is good when it tells us, that, let's say we're working out and we're pushing too hard and we're at a place where we could actually injure ourselves. That's when we need to go, okay, that's when we need to stop. But there's other times when we know, like, doing isometrics or working out, and it's just fatigue. You're not actually going to hurt yourself. Start practicing. Instead of saying, this is all I can handle, this is as far as I can go. It's, instead of telling stories about it, just experience it. And then we can let go of all these stories that are just not necessary, and they limit us so much because it's just a mind story in our relationship with pain. And it's just an adventure. It's just an experience.